Hari Om. Welcome you all to OLAS 26. And this is in lieu of Janmashtami, which we all celebrated all over the world on 11th of August. So Krishna, from Gokul to Kurukshetra. So let me start with a very famous verse praising Lord Krishna. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kausachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So welcome you all. Let us all go on a journey from childhood Krishna to Yogeshwara Krishna. Okay. So Krishna. What is the etymology? Krisha Vilekhane, that is to plow. Okay. The plowshare. Karishaka. Krishaka. Okay. So the farm, Krishi, the very word Krishi, Krisha Vilekhane, Karishyati Areen iti Krishnaha. So one who kills, vanquishes all his enemies, destroys all his enemies, all the evil powers is Krishna. Akarshanat Krishnaha, one who attracts, he pulls towards him like a big magnet. Akarshanat Krishnaha. Krishna means attraction, and according to some Nakara is Ananda Vachakaha. So his attraction plus bliss incarnate. But I looked through the Ekakshara Kosha. It is, some, I think 30-35 verses, right from Akara to Nyakara. Ekakshara Kosha is there, composed by Purushottama Deva. And there we have Rukaraha Vedamata. In Krishna, Kakara plus Rukara is there. So what is the meaning of Rikara? It is Vedamata, Veda, knowledge itself. Kakaraha Atmani Mayurecha Prakashascha Udarataha. And Kakara signifies Mayura. No wonder peacock is so closely associated with Krishna because Kakara means Mayura. Kakara also means Atma. And Kakara also means light, abundant light. And light always symbolizes knowledge. When we say Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, so light is knowledge. And Nakara, so Ka and Ru, Kru is done. So what is Nakaraha? Jnane, Nishchaye, Niranaye Picha. It symbolizes Jnana, knowledge, Nishchaya, determined knowledge, determination, and Nirnaya, decision. So decisiveness, determination, and knowledge, all these three factors are combined along with the Vedic knowledge, along with the Atma Swarupa, the Naija Swarupa, and abundance of light. That is what Krishna symbolizes or stands for. And this who is giving abundant light and knowledge to everybody, he was born in midnight. What an irony. But Ya Nisha Sarvabhutana Tasyam Jagarti Sanyami, right? No wonder Krishna is born in midnight. Every child, I am very sure, is Krishna, and every girl child is Radha, at least in Indian scenario, right? From Kanyakumari to Kashmir, all the boys are Krishnas and all the girls are Radhas in their childhood. So what is Bala Krishna? These are the 2-3 verses I recited first, Vasudeva Sutam Devam. There are other two. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum is the last quarter. Okay. And there are 3 verses on that. So the other is Atasi Pushpa Sankasham. What is Atasi? This is Atasi Pushpa. See the color of Atasi? Atasi Pushpa Sankasham Haranupura Shobhitam Ratnakankana Keyuram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. See the color of Krishna and the color of Atasi Pushpa, they are the same. Then Kutila Alaka Sanyuktam. Kutila Alaka, curly hair, curly hair. Purna Chandra Nibhananam, like a Sharat Chandra Nibha, the full face like a full moon. Vilasak Kundaladharam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. You can draw a circle. So round it is like Purna Chandra. And then these are the other childhood sports of Lord Krishna. Makhan Chor, then Kalyanartana, and Govardhana Giridhari. So these are the various episodes, In Bhagavata, 10th Skanda, for example, it is all devoted to Krishna Lila. So nice, full of Vatsalya Rasa first, then comes the Pranaya, the Prema, which culminates into Bhakti. So these are the three rasas which we find in Balakrishna. Now this is the famous episode, like Yashoda is churning the buttermilk and taking the Navanita, the butter, and child Krishna goes and, oh, Amba, I want to help you. I want to help you. So he takes up the rod, the rod and the rajju to churn that milk or the buttermilk. Okay. The moment he takes that, what happens? When Krishna or Vishnu is churning ocean, what are you reminded of? Ksheerasagara Manthana. Ksheerasagara Manthana, right? So the childhood Krishna, but he is a Vishnu's avatar, Vishnu's incarnation. So the moment he takes, what all reactions happen in the world over, that's beautifully, encapsulated in this single verse. Balakrishna says, Amba, Shramyasi. Oh, mother, Amba, you are so tired. Tishta, please wait. Let me do some work for you, no? You take rest for a while, okay? I will do that. Gorasam aham matnami. I will do the churning. Tishta, you please take rest. So manthanakam pralambya sthitam ishwaram drishtva. So this manthanaka he has taken in his hands and he is ready to churn any moment. Looking at that form of Vishnu's incarnation, Sarabhasam Deenanano Vasukihi. He came with Sarabhasam. No, you go ahead. You go there, Apasara. Aham Matnami Gorasam. And so he pushes his mother away and takes it, the manthanaka in his hand. Tam drishtva Deenananaha Vasukihi. Why? Because Vasuki was made the Manthanaka, the Mandara was made the Manthanaka and he was the cord, right? The rope. And therefore, he thought, oh, another time I will have to be like, crushed against this Mandara. So he was Deenanana. He was very miserable. Sasuyam Kamalalaya. Why? From that Ksheerasagara Manthana, Lakshmi Kaustubhaj Parijatakasura, Chaturdasha Ratnani, Lakshmi is the first to come out. Come on now, who would welcome another Lakshmi from that? So she is Sasuyam. She is not, very fond of this activity of Krishna because another Lakshmi, if she comes out, what is her place? What is her importance? Right? Sasuyam Kamalalaya. Suraganaha Sanandam. All the gods were very happy. Another Amritapana. Something else we will have, because something good for the gods will happen. Udyadbhayam Rahuhu Praikshata. And Rahu looked at Krishna with fear in his eyes because in that Ksheerasagara Manthana, if you remember the story quite correct, Mohini came to distribute the Amrita, okay? And Rahu and Ketu, Rahu came there disguised as a Sura, and it was Surya and Chandra who notified that, and then Rahu's head was cut. So that head became Rahu and the body, the trunk became Ketu. That is the story. So that Rahu, at least head form, he is there. Now again, one more Manthana, something comes up, he will be gone totally. So Rahu Udyad Bhayam Praikshata Saha Gopala Balo Harihi Saha Vaha Shivadaha Astu. Let him be all bringing all beneficiaries and all good to you all. Vaha Shivadaha Astu. What a beautiful Subhashita, right? And this is the same, this picture, there are the Asuras here in the light, this corner, and these are all the gods here, So it's a very good picture. For all the pictures, I owe gratitude to Google Swami, okay? And now here, Yashoda ties him to a mortar with a rope on his belly, on his stomach. Dama Udare Yasya Saha Damodaraha. And therefore he got a name called Damodara. and there is a very beautiful Damodarashtaka. See what a beautiful Swabhavokti this gives you. This child Krishna, Yashoda is scolding him. Oh, I caught you red-handed today. Okay, all the gopis come and complain about me. I saw you today that you are stealing Navanita. So let me let me punish you. And she ties him to the mortar. So that child Krishna, with both his hands, wiping his eyes, Rudantam muhuhu netra yugmam mrijantam karambhoja yugmena. His lotus like chote chote hath, okay, and he is wiping out his ears. Satanka netram, fear in his eyes. Oh, what my mother is going to punish me now? What next after tying me here? And muhuhu shwasakampa, he's panting, with fear, with cry, with tears in his eyes. Just imagine when your child does some prank, you know that he has done a mischief. But when he pleads, and that pearly droplet of tear coming from his eyes, how the mother, her heart will melt. Similar thing happened with Yashoda also. She also, but this time she is very stern and she is not releasing him at all. And then we know the story of Nalakubara. He goes with that mortar and the two trees there in the courtyard, they fall down and they are Nalakubara's sons. They get released and all. So Sthitam Naumi Damodaram. So this is the Damodara Ashtaka. So this is also very nice Ashtaka. And again I'm reminded of Mai Nahi Makhana Khayo of Surdas, beautifully sung by so many people, and then how he pleads with Mother Yashoda that where is the time for me to have this butter and all that. No, early morning you send me to graze the cows. Bhora bhaye gayana ke pache. And then where is the time? And this gwala bala, barabasa mukhala patayo. So I have not. Maiya mori, mai nahi makhana khayo. So that is a very like covetable act of child Krishna. Everybody likes Makhanachor. He got a biruda also, a name also, Makhanachor. Now there is a symbolic interpretation for all that. Okay, what is the Makhana? What is the Mayura picture there? So basically, Vasudeva is the Prana Shakti. Devaki symbolizes a human body as such. When Prana enters body, then Krishna, that Ananda, is born. And Kamsa is basically, he symbolizes Ahankara. And because Kamsa, troubled so much his own sister, Devaki, that is Ahankara, putting our own self, our body to trouble. Okay? So Kamsa, troubling Devaki, that is the body, trying to imprison, his sister, that is our body, and kill her children. But ultimately, that Ahankara gets vanished by Ananda. And Radha is the symbol of true love, transcending the physical level. It is unconditional love. There is no give and take in that. Radha's love is unconditional, transcending all the physical level. In fact, the Rasa Panchadhyayi in the Bhagavata, Dashamaskanda, chapter 29 to 33, that gives you a vivid description of the Rasa. Next slide will be having the Rasa picture. But all these gopis, they also symbolize the Jivatma, and Krishna is the Paramatma. So Krishna is engaging every gopi. That means he is connecting with every Jiva and attracting that Jiva towards him. The Navanita is the ripened knowledge, and the Mayura picture is, it's so light and so delicate, but the touch of Mayura picture is so soft. So Krishna's company, Krishna's words, everything what Krishna does is so very soft, so delicate, so tender. And for Krishna himself, whatever be the problem, it's as light as a feather. So that could be the symbolic interpretation of all these things associated with Krishna. Again, there are some two beautiful Subhashitas. I mean, there are hundreds of Subhashitas also, other than the classical literature works, compositions in Sanskrit verses. So this I heard recently in our Avadhana workshop. Neetam yadi navanitam neetam neetam kim etena atapa tapita bhumau madhava madhava madhava. The gopis are complaining to Yashoda that your Kanha has stolen our butter and he's running away. Mother's heart, it melts in the hot sun. Small child is running. Atapa tapita bhumau. The ground, the soil, it's so heated by the heat of the sun. Madhava, 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 please don't run. After all, and she is telling to the gopis, what has he taken? Only little Navanitam, no small child. What else he will take? Kimetena Neetam, Navanitam Yadinitam, Kimetena Neetam. Oh, child Krishna, please don't run, come here. Now, once what happened, Krishna, Balarama, and all others, they were playing, okay? And Krishna was eating the clay, the soil, Mrittika Bhakshana. That's a very famous narrative in Krishna's life. So, Balarama comes and complains to Yashoda. Krishnena amba gatena rantum, O amba, ratena gantum Krishnena, he went out to play, no? But what did he do? Asakrit mrid bhakshita svechaya. He was eating the clay, like that only. Then Yashoda asks, Satyam Krishna? She asked Krishna, Satyam, is it true? He will plead innocence. He says, no, Kaeva Maha. First, yes. Who told you? By the way, who told you? Musali, your elder brother. Then he says, Mithya, Amba, Mithya. He is telling a lie. Pashyananam. He opens his mouth. Pashyananam. Is there mitti? Is there mrittika in my mouth? And then Vyadehi. Please open your mouth, She says, Vyadehi ti vikasite chavadane. When the mouth is fully opened, Drishtva samastam jagat. She sees the entire world. This is the first Vishwarupa Darshana. We know only the Vishwarupa Darshana in the Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter. This is the first Vishwarupa Darshana which Yashoda Maya had. Okay? And Etat sarvam samastam jagad drishtva yasya mata vismayam jagama sapayat vaha Shripati. That Shripati, may he protect you all. So patu vaha, this is a typical type of Subhashita, and in the Subhashita Ratna Bhandagara, first and foremost you will have this section, patu vaha section, regarding all the gods and goddesses, patu vaha. Okay. Now he becomes a Gopala Krishna. After that Makhana Chori and all, he becomes Gopala Krishna, and he is always surrounded by the cows. Okay, Bhor Bhaye Gayana ke pache, Lakuti Kamaliya leke, right? So that's how he goes. But in the Rigveda, we have what are these cows and what is the Goloka as such. So ta vastu ni ushmasi gamadhyai yatra gavo bhuri shrunga ayasaha. So where there are cows, bhuri shrunga, multi-horned cows are there, ayasaha, nimble, they are not tired at all. All the time they are grazing, they are roaming around, they are running around, ayasaha. They don't get shramita, they don't get exhausted at all. So these cows are there, and that is the Vishnoho Paramapada. That is the highest foot of Vishnu, where there is Madhvaha Utsaha, there is a fountain of nectar. So that is the Vishnu Sukta of the Rigveda, first Mandala 154. This incidentally has been used by many people, many philosophers as, the Golokasya Kalpana, Goloka Varnana. Goloka Varnana, they have kept it. This is the Vedic region of plenty of sunlight and plenty of milk and nourishment and all that. So what is this Goloka? Go is Gang Gato, that is the root, Gang Gato, Gachati. But it means cows. Rashmayopi Gavaha Uchante, even the sun rays are called cows. The goats, the earth. In fact, the Nighantu starts with the very word Gauhu, Kshma, Jma, Mahi, Dhara, iti Prithivyaha, Ekavimshati Namani, Nighantu, right? So Gauhu symbolizes Prithvi as well, and Gau also means sense organs. And from this, Gopala Krishna, he is Gopala because he is protecting the cows. He is Govinda, he obtains the cows, he obtains the knowledge, he obtains the earth, he obtains the sun rays, everything. And he has full control over Go, that is his sense organs. And therefore also he is called Govinda. Another word for the same meaning is Rishikesha. Rishikam nama indriyam. Kasmat harshayati iti rishikam. That which pleases you. Because all our sense organs, we derive certain type of pleasure, right? And therefore Rishika means indriya, and Rishikanam Ishaha iti Rishikeshaha. So this is very important, that philosophically also this Gopala Krishna symbolizes the same Vishnu who is praised in the Rigveda. And this is not only that I am going to connect it, Gopalatapani Upanishad, it also gives you the nirukti of go in these different manners, Krishna also, and go bhumi veda vidito govindaha. He is called Govinda because go means go, and bhumi and veda, all that. So all that is signified by the word go. And he is Satchidananda Rupa Krishnaya Krishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vidyaya Gurave Buddhi Sakshine. So that is the highest principle, the Atma Tattva, and that is what is given in the Vedanta Saurabha Parijata by Nimbarakacharya when he comments on Brahma Sutras. For him, what is Brahman? Brahman is Krishna. Because it is the same. See, Akrishtakarine and basically Satchidananda Rupaya. Satchit Ananda. That verily is the Swarupa, Lakshana of Brahma. And Krishna is Satchidananda Rupa. So Krishna himself is Brahman. And another thing is, he has got 16,000 wives. There are Ashtanayikas like Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati, etc. But then he released those 16,000 princesses or wives of some other kings, and then there was no shelter for them and they came to Krishna. And it is said that who is a brahmachari, real brahmachari, in spite of having thousands of wives, Krishna alone is the brahmachari. That's a very contradictory statement, but very ironical one. Then we come to Radha Krishna. The moment we talk about this Vrindavan and Mathura and Gokul, the childhood Krishna grows big, little big, like say 12, 14, 16 years, and there is Radha in his life. Radha appears for the first time in Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Even in the Bhagavata Purana, though we have the Rasa Panchadhyayi as such, there is no name as Radha in the Purana. She comes first time in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana by the name Radha. So Radha Samsiddho, that is to obtain, to accomplish, to prosper, to succeed. So Radha is a way to success. Okay. Radhanoti Karya Manaya iti Radha. And Jayadeva's Gita Govinda, for example, all the Ashtapadis, Viharati Haririha Sarasa Vasante, and so many beautiful alliterative Ashtapadis are there. And this is Nrityati Gayati Yuvati Janena Samam Sakhi, so beautiful. And all the dancers are performing on those compositions, and all the singers are singing them to their own tunes. So very beautifully Jayadeva has described. But Jayadeva, for Jayadeva also, he himself calls himself as Padmavati Charana Charana Chakravarti. Padmavati was the name of his wife, by the way. Padmavati Charana Charana Chakravarti. That is his Birudavali, he himself takes. So he has beautifully described Radha Krishna. But Radha Krishna, unfortunately, we have made them the symbol of only a physical love, a carnal pleasure. And there are so many jokes that every woman wants her child to be Gopala Krishna, but not her husband to be big Krishna, adult Krishna. I mean, these are all only on the physical level we think of. For Radha, he is much more than just a friend, a sakha, somebody in whom we can confide in. The things which we can't tell to anybody else in our family, we need such a friend in our life. Krishna is such a friend for everybody, not only Radha. He is a friend of everybody. Vrindavanaka Krishna Kanhaiya. There was a beautiful song earlier days, 60s, 70s perhaps. So everyone covets this blue boy of Vrindavan. This is the blue boy of Vrindavan that is very attractive. Right from Shankaracharya Vallabhacharya dharam madhuram vadanam madhuram. How beautifully. And now recently Jasrajji, Sangeeta Martanda Jasrajji passed away. He became Krishna Leena. His Adharam Madhuram or Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. How beautifully he has sung with all the bhakti bhava in it. And for him it is said that he had lost one Krishna picture which he had in his house while shifting, somewhere. And he was so restless. He could not eat for 2 3 days. Nobody in the house could eat because he said, Mera kanha mujhse root gaya hai. And he could not eat. I mean, this is all he was telling on on a television interview. And then third day, somebody came in his dream and she said, I am Radha. And because you are starving here, you are not eating. Kanha be starving. Kanha is also not eating anything. And then he woke up his wife and, everybody ate and all that. And then he came to Guruvayur here in Kerala for a concert. And there a small boy got hold of his son and gave a roll of a picture. And it was the same picture. I mean, we can just get goose pimples on this and nothing else than that, right? So that is the bhakti. I mean, that is the connection soul has with the Paramatma, right? So this is Krishna covers like a blue akasha. The blueness of Krishna, what you can compare it with akasha. As akasha is all covering, all pervading, Vibhu, so does he cover all the people, all our personality, our physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, all our personality, all our aura, different dehas, he covers. And covering all that, he is nirlepa. He is untouched by anything. There are so many wildfires every day somewhere. So much of black, smoky clouds, so many smoky black clouds go and, they just get scattered. Does the Akasha get tainted by that blackness? No. Similarly, he is nirlepa. He doesn't get affected by anything. And therefore, in spite of being entangled in all the different souls, he stands apart. Everybody feels he is mine, but he belongs to none. He is Swayam Purana Brahma. So yasya naham krito bhavaha buddhihi yasya na lipyate hatva pisaiman lokan na lipyati na hanti na nibadhyate. So this was the Rasa Krida which I was referring to. Shankaracharya, Nimbarka, Vallabha, Radha, Chaitanya Goswami, to Surdas, to Mirabai, to everybody here, So we are all like enamored, fascinated by the Krishna Tattva. This has become a principle. This is not just a person. This has become a principle which is all pervading like a Brahman. Then he goes from Gokul to Mathura. This is one transition in the life, okay? Gokul to Mathura. And then he respects Kubja. This could be like, like in Ramayana we have Ahalyodhara. This is Kubjaya Uddharaha in a way. This is assimilation. This is a cultural assimilation, social assimilation, we can say. So giving respect to everybody, every soul, irrespective of the physical form or deformity or anything. So how to look at any person, that Krishna teaches us. Okay. Be full of love for every fellow being, and friend of the innocent, foe of the oppressor. He is very crafty when it comes to the foes, to the aris. Karishati arin iti Krishna. He becomes very strategic. He is crafty. He will plan something, devices, and will kill his enemies. Okay. Kamsa Chanura Mardanam, killing the wrestler Chanura and then the Kamsa. So this is Krishna to Mathura. Another, like a break, commercial break. So we have another Subhashita. I think I did one Subhashita like this, not like this, but something like Hey Hey Ramba Kimamba in the class of the Subhashitas. There is one beautiful conversational Subhashita between Shiva and Parvati. Kastvam Shuli Mrigaya Bhishajam. That also I think I did. So on the same basis, there is this Vishnu and Lakshmi, their Samvada. Hmm? So Lakshmi is inside the palace. She has closed the door. Vishnu comes and knocks at the door. She asks, Angulya kaha kavate praharati kutilo, at this time, who is this wicked fellow who is knocking at the door? And then he says, Madhava, I am Madhava. Then she asks, are you Vasanta? Madhava is another name for Vasanta because Madhu Madhava, Chaitra and Vaishakha, these months make Vasanta Ritu, the spring. So Madhava is another name of Vasanta. So she takes the other meaning. This is all based on the pun, Shlesha. Kim Vasantaha? No, Chakri. I am Chakri because I hold Sudarshana Chakra. Chakri. Chakri also means a Kulala, a potter who has a chakra, a potter's wheel. Then she says, Kim Kulala? Are you a potter? She knows he is Vishnu. Okay. Vishnu and Krishna are the same because there are Ghora, Himathi, the words, Kaliya, etc. And therefore I took this verse. Kim Kulalaha? Nahi, Dharani Dharaha. I am the one, Govardhana Giridhari, you know. Dharani Dharaha. I had that Dharani Dhara, that is the mountain on my fingertips. Kim Phanindro Dvijivha? Who gives support to the mountain? It is the Shesha, Dvijivha, having split tongue. Dvijivha, not two tongues, split tongues. You know, the snakes have split tongues. So Kim Dvijivha, the Phanindraha, Mugdhe, Ghora Himathi. I am the one who has killed that ferocious, fearful serpent, that snake, cobra, Ghor Ahi Mathi. Then she says, Kimuta Khagapati, are you Garuda? Because Garuda and snakes are like enemies, right? Kimuta Khagapati? No, Harihi. I am Hari. Hari also means Kapi, monkey. So she says, Kim Kapindraha? Are you the best amongst the Kapis? The monkey ka Raja, you know, the lord of the monkeys? Itham Lakshmya Krutosau Pratihata Vachanaha Patu Lakshmi Dhavovaha. I told you the Patuvaha verses, so many verses are there. Very beautiful. They are replete with our narratives from Itihas and Puranas. So unless we know these narratives, these stories, we can't decipher and decode the meaning of that. From Mathura to Dwaraka. There are so many transitions, right? When we are taking you to the journey, I mean, I'm myself journeying that from Gokul to Kurukshetra. These are the transition spots, you know, in the itinerary. These are the places where he halts for a while. So from Mathura to Dwaraka, and then he was invaded by Jarasandha 16, 17 times, you know. And one time he said, oh, Jarasandha is now supported by Kalayavana. And he is coming with a huge army. So not a single Yadava will be alive, will be left alive. What does Krishna do? Dwarakadhish. He runs away from there. The entire city he vacates and re-establishes his capital at Dwarika. Okay, from Mathura, he establishes his city in Dwarika and he emptied, vacated Mathura altogether, convinced his father Ugrasena, who was the king, right? And he convinced him and went to Dwaraka. So it was a good strategy of withdrawal at places, at times. So it is not that every time you have to fight and win. Sometimes you have to set back, you know, get back some 4 steps and leave that enemy, you know, what do I do now here in the empty city? Okay. So worried about the safety of the Yadavas basically, who had suffered 17 attacks from Jarasandha. So he wanted to save his clan, his people. He knew that I am not capable of fighting against such a big army and therefore let me go away. And then he got a name called Ranachod Das, and that has become like a famous name. He carries that bad name also so very significantly. We have a beautiful temple at Dakor of Ranchod Das. Then he became the king of Dwaraka, and Dwarakadhish had been to Dwaraka. He stands alone, no Radha, no Rukmini, no consort. As a king, he is always, he is a Sakha Krishna. Sakha Krishna first of Sudama, and we all know that story, how he went to Dwaraka, you know, with a handful of that parched rice poha, and how Krishna, without what burdening him under his obligation, so to say, he changed the destiny of not only Sudama, but all the people in the Sudamapuri. Sudamapuri is somewhere in Porbandar now, modern Gujarat. He is Krishna as Narayana, and he is the best friend of Nara, which is Arjuna. Nara Narayana ki katha. Okay. In Badarikashrama, they were practicing penance, Nara and Narayana. And there are the references to this Bhakto Sime Sakha Cheti, Rahasyam Yetaduttamam. Or Arjuna says, He Madhava, He Sakheti, Prasabham Maya Yaduktam, Vihara Shayyasana Bhojaneshu, etc. So there is Sakhya Bhava. And Sakhya Bhava is one of the 9 types of bhaktis. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho, Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. The last but one, the penultimate bhava in Navavidha Bhakti is Sakhya Bhakti. So there is Arjuna's Sakhya Bhakti, and the best relation I find after Radha is Draupadi with Krishna. Draupadi's relation with Krishna is very uncommon, very unique. You can't call Krishna as her boyfriend. You can't call Krishna as her brother. Okay? I mean, in the real sense of the term. But he is much more than all these relations put together. He is very special to her. In fact, I remember a very fine book I read some 15, 20 years back by Aruna Dhere, maybe 15 years back. Krishna Kinara, Marathi book. And it has like 4, 5 ladies who have come in the life of Krishna and how they got affected influenced by Krishna. There is Kunti, there is Draupadi, there is Radha, there is Meera. Okay, and Andal perhaps, yeah, Andal. So all these, because she used to decorate herself as Radha and as a Ranganayaki and go there, and ultimately she merged in Sri Rangam, right, in Ranganayaka. So that is the friendship of Draupadi and Krishna. So very unique type of relation, and we must long for such relations. It's not that when a man and a woman come together, they have to be physically associated with each other. There is much more beyond all these realms, and that we don't capture many times, and we misinterpret whenever we see any boy and a girl going together. Then we come to Yogeshwara Krishna. So this Yogeshwara Krishna is, the word occurs, Yogeshwara, this particular word occurs 3 times in the Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter once and 18th chapter 2 times it comes. And the word yoga comes in various inflections like vibhaktis, yogena, yogat, yogasya, etc. More than 70 occurrences are there in the Bhagavad Gita in 700 shlokas. So yogaha yuktihi is one of the meanings. And Shankaracharya in his commentary says, Samyak darshanopaya karmanushtanam yogaha. Samyak darshanopaya. Darshana is not just seeing. Darshana is philosophical system also. And upaya karma. So to get that darshana, whatever you do and whatever you perform, that is called yoga. Samyak darshanopaya karmanushtanam. And then there are so many yogas, Bhagavad Gita elucidates very nicely. In fact, every chapter, 18 chapters, every chapter in the Bhagavad Gita is named after some or the other yoga. Right from Arjuna Vishada Yoga and Sankhya Yoga to the Moksha Sannyasa Yoga of the 18th chapter. But what are more important in that are the various paths which lead to one common goal. So there are various paths, there could be a path of knowledge, Jnana Yoga. There could be a path of karma. You do your activity in such a detached manner, Anasakta Yoga, Karmanyevadhikaraste, Ma Phaleshu Kadachana, Ma Karma Phalaheturbhoho, Ma Te Sangahastu Akarmani. So like that you do karma. And Niyatam Kuru Karmatvam, whatever is ordained, whatever is assigned to you, you can't run away from that. That is your Swadharma, you have to do it. And Lokmanya Balagangadhar Tilak interpreted the entire Bhagavad Gita as Gita Rahasya, as Karma Yoga Shastra. So this is nothing. What is the Rahasya of Gita? That is Karma Yoga Shastra. So he names his book as Karma Yoga Shastra, Gita Rahasya. Okay. So there is Karma Yoga, there is Bhakti Yoga, and Shunichaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. That way he would say, and Striyo Shudras Tathapi. So it is accessible for anybody. How? Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam, Yo me bhaktya prayachati. And then once you do that, then all the responsibility lies on him. You just offer him whatever little you have. In Marathi, we have Khulbhar Dudhachi Goshta. Little milk, you offer on Shravani Somvar, and then Shiva is pleased with that. The king of that region, he pours buckets and buckets of the milk, and the Garbhagriha is not filled. But that poor lady, she feeds the grandsons, her children, and then whatever is remaining, she brings and pours it on the lingam, and the Garbhagriha is filled. So only little thing also, that is also enough. And then once he takes care, Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. So I take care of them. Whatever they want, whatever they don't have, I will facilitate that, and whatever they have, I will try to protect that. So that sort of assurance is there. And then when you are doing some such good things, he has assured in the very beginning, Nahi kalyana krit kaschid durgatin tata gacchati. Whatever good you do, that's not going to be waste anytime. Maybe while studying also you gather so much of material, especially the PhD students, and then they feel, oh, this data is not required for my research question. So it's all wasted my time. It's not wasted. You can bring out a paper from that. I mean, nothing goes waste. Whatever good you do is to be put to use. So that is there. Then Raja Yoga, 9th chapter, Dhyana Yoga, the 6th chapter. And I may tell you that I read the commentaries of 5 Sanskrit acharyas like Ramanuja, Shankaracharya, Vallabha, Madhva, and Abhinava Guptacharya. Nobody from these acharyas, while commenting upon the Dhyana Yoga, brought out the Hatha Yoga point of view, which Jnaneshwara, Sant Jnaneshwara has brought out, okay, in Bhavartha Deepika. So the Kundalini Jagaran and all that, Jasi Naginichi Pile, Kumkume Nahale, Mautakichi Valane, very beautiful description of Jnaneshwari on Dhyana Yoga. So he is Yogeshwara. He has told you so many parts. He is Yoganam Ishwaraha. He is the Ishwara, the Lord, He rules all the yogas. He is the master. Because he himself has mastered. One can give only that which he has. He has all the knowledge of these yogas, and therefore he gives you all. So Krishna is a complete human being. I am tempted to compare Krishna with Rama. When I dealt with Sakha Rama, Sakha Krishna, I was tempted to say, Mata Ramo Mat Pita Ramachandraha, Swami Ramo Mat Sakha Ramachandraha. Buddha Kaushika Rishi in Ramaraksha says that. But does anybody look at Rama, Kodandadhari Rama, as a Sakha really? We always look at him as a Dhiro, Datta, Nayaka, Rana Karkasha, Rana Gambhira, Krishna is not like that. Krishna is never like that. In fact, Krishna never has any Ayudha, only Prasangopatta. Whenever he needs, he will have an Ayudha. Even that Bansuri, that flute, we started our session with the flute, right? So even that flute is there only till he comes to Mathura. After that, no time. No time for him to play the flute. He is engaged in so many other works. Then he becomes a king. Then he has to advise Arjuna and all of us, all ignorant souls like us, and take us through. So he has lot many other works. So he doesn't have time for his own recreation and relaxation and all that. So, and therefore I say he is a complete human being. We don't look upon him only as this, as a god. He is our friend, a Balakrishna, like a child, I want to take him, cuddle him, nourish him. Every mother would like her child to be as naughty as Krishna, right? So he is Dhira Lalita. He is Dhira Lalita, especially in the Vrindavan and the Gokula with the gopis and with his sakhas. When there is a teamwork, of the Hihandi, right? So that is a Sakha Bhava, that is a Lalitya Purna, all his Leelas. They come as Dhira Lalita type of hero. By the way, these four are the types of heroes categorized by later poeticians as such. Nayaka Chaturvidha and Nayika also Chatasrahani. So Dhira Lalita, Dhirodhata, Dhirodatta and Dhira Shanta. These are the four types. So he is Dhira Lalita. Okay. Then he is Dhirodatta as a Dwarakadhish, as a king. He is always Udatta. He has to take decisions. He is Udatta there. Then advisor of Arjuna, of course, he is Udatta. Dhirodhata, Uddhata, very adamant and very aggressive when it comes to killing his enemies. And his Dhira Shanta, every step, he is Dhira Shanta, especially when he witnessed with his own eyes the doomed Yadavakula. When he himself is meeting his own last moment, when he was hit by a hunter, he is Dhira Shanta. So the Shanta Swabhav is also there. So he is like all these four, and yet none of these four. He can't be, stamped like Dhirodatta Dhira. He is over and above all these four. Then the last slide, perhaps now, the Kurukshetra slide. Yes. So, Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Mritam. The entire Bhagavad Gita is like the milk. And who is the cow? Sarvopanishadaha Gavaha. All the Upanishads means the cow. And who is milking that cow? He is Lord Krishna himself. And one who is drinking that dugdha is Vatsaha Arjuna. Okay. So he advised the mankind to deal with biggest crisis, then stress, even small worries, small anxieties. We always say that we need a Krishna as an advisor, friend, philosopher, guide at every step when we encounter some troubles, even within us. There could be our two minds fighting with each other. That time also we need somebody, to guide us, to advise us. So that time we need Krishna and various methods of achieving the goal to suit one's own temperament. Karma yoga is Svesve Karmanyabhirataha Samsiddhim Labhate Naraha. I am reminded of a story. Let me tell you a story. I heard it when I think I was 21, maybe in 74. Yeah, 74, 75. I heard this story in Chinmaya Mission itself. Okay. In Chinmaya Mission itself, I heard this story. And this is on the very first verse, the first pada of the Bhagavad Gita. What is the first verse of Bhagavad Gita? Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Okay. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. That is the first pada. The story runs like this. There is a great Pandit. Okay. He studied Bhagavad Gita for many, many, many years, with all his intelligence, wisdom gathered from here, there, everybody. And he pondered over that. And he used to give lectures, discourses on Bhagavad Gita wherever he went. He once came to a very small village, something like Velianad, okay? A very small village once he came to. And there was only one big temple and there was a Sabhagriha of temple. All the lectures, etc. used to happen there only. There are no halls, auditoriums, nothing like. Temple itself is the center for all social gatherings and cultural gatherings, etc. Not only religious, right? So his lecture was arranged there. So all the people had gathered there. Such a great person is coming. So nobody wanted to miss it. All bache, budhe, all had come. And the Sabhagriha was packed. He came little bit late because by that time, there was a hankara. I am a great person. Nobody talks on Bhagavad Gita like me. I know everything. That sort of, pride was there, arrogance was there. So he came half an hour late, aram se, like a VVIP. Okay. After that, he was introduced and all that. And then he started. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre. Only this much he has recited. He's yet to recite the next pada. A woman from the gathering got up, folded her hands, and started going towards the door, exit. He was disturbed, felt insulted, humiliated. What is this? I haven't even started, and she's going disrespect to me. So he stopped her. Mai, why did you come here? To listen to you. Why did you come here? What you wanted to listen? What you want to know about it? No, I have heard that Bhagavad Gita has a lesson for life for everybody. So I wanted to learn some lesson. He said, but I haven't yet started. I will complete the verse, then I will start, then you will know something. She said, no, Kshantavyoyam Janaha, I got my lesson. He's scratching his head now. Come on. I studied Bhagavad Gita for so many years. I didn't understand what is there in Dharmakshetra. Kurukshetra, these are the two words. Kurukshetra, come on. It's a geographical territorial name. It's the name of a place. Dharmakshetra, because there was Dharma Yuddha. That's it. What's beyond that? The real philosophy starts from second chapter. Shankaracharya also said second chapter. So like he said, no, what is there? Can you please explain me, Amma? And then she said, do you know Sanskrit? He asked her, because it is all Sanskrit though. I am the Vidwan. She said, I learned little bit Sanskrit in the schools, and my teacher had told that Sanskrit is a very flexible, fluid language. It doesn't expect any, rigid syntax, word order, in a particular place like aham shalam gacchami aham gacchami shalam, whatever way. So that I know pakka. Then I just use that knowledge here. Still he is wondering, what is it? Then she said, Dharma Kshetra, there are two words, Dharma and Kshetra. Kurukshetra, there are two words, Kuru and Kshetra. I just shuffled the words and made a sentence, Kshetre, Kshetre, Dharma Kuru. Kshetre, Kshetre, Dharma Kuru. Whichever field you are, you do your dharma. What is dharma? Duty. You do your duty, right? He said, yes, something dawned upon him like a flash of lightning. He said, yes. And she said, I am a housewife. Okay. Now this is getting late. I have to serve my parents-in-law. मेरे सास ससुर को खिलाना है. My children would be there. So that is my Grihini dharma. That is my Patni dharma. That is my Snusha dharma. I am bound by so many duties. So let me go and do my duty. Kshetre, Kshetre, Dharma Kuru. Grammatically, you would say it should be Dharmam Kuru, not Dharma Kuru. Okay. She is not as literate as you, but she knows how to interpret, right? Kshetre, Kshetre, Dharma Kuru. And then that Pandit lay prostrate at her feet. Amma, mujhe kshama karo. I had that arrogance. I know everything. But today, after coming here, I learned a lesson of my life from a person like you. So what is my duty now? Without having any arrogance. Jo apne paas hai, you just go on disseminating and distributing without expecting anything in return. Ma phaleshu kadachana. I have been just preaching and preaching without practicing it. You taught me how to practice. So this is the lesson. The entire Bhagavad Gita, from Yogeshwarat Krishnat, Sakshat Kathayata Swayam. What does Krishna tell you? Kshetre, Kshetre Dharma Kuru. Another very interesting point. After this story I learned, I went through the entire Bhagavad Gita again and again. And then the first word of Bhagavad Gita is Dharma. What is the last word of Bhagavad Gita? Yatra Yogeshwarah Krishnaha, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhuti, Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama. Mama Dharmaha. Swadharma, that is the essence. So the entire Bhagavad Gita, 701 shlokas, two words, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre, Kshetre Kshetre Dharma Kuru. One word, Swadharma, Mama Dharma. That is Swadharma. Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha, paradharmo bhayavaha. Swadharmat nastyanyat kinchit. So everybody, if he or she does his, her own duty, where is the conflict? If there is no conflict, where is the conflict resolution? The world will be so peaceful, so nice. So let us aspire for such a world, with the blessings of Lord Krishna, who is so covetable, whom we all love, not only like, we love that Krishna. So from that Krishna, this has come to us, Mama Dharma. So let us all just try to imbibe that lesson. And doctors are doing their Swadharma, nurses are doing their Swadharma, teachers are doing their Swadharma. Students should do their Swadharma. Students should not feel, oh, this is an overload online education, this is so boring. That is your Swadharma. You have come here to learn. You have to learn. We have come here to teach. We are going to teach, irrespective whether it is a personal class or online class. So everybody has to do his own or her own Swadharma. With this note, I will stop. How is Bhagavata Purana Krishna different from Mahabharata Krishna, as both are written by different authors? No, both are written by the same author, Vyasa. Bhagavata Purana is also written by Vyasa and Mahabharata is also written by Vyasa. They are not different authors. They are the same authors. Significance behind holding the particular musical instrument, flute. I don't know. Again, there is a story. I go on telling you stories, right? There is a story. There is a Vinoba Bhave's one in his Gita or Gita Pravachana, I think. I read this somewhere. Why that particular flute, I don't know. Why flute as such? But then the flute, we would like to be flute in Krishna's hands. We all, even Radha wished so. We all love to be flute in his hands, and he would just blow air in that, and we will produce different swaras, something like that. And you become hollow from within. It is not something, you become hollow from within, and then something can be created from that. You need not be filled. We are always filled with our own vasanas, with our own what you can say, kashayas, the shadripus and akankshas, aspirations, so many things. We are always our own sorrows, our own happinesses. So we have to empty ourselves. Then only somebody can create divine sura from that, swara from that. So that is the thing, I think. Dwarka, you had mentioned something like Krishna felt he will be unable to fight, so he moved away. Can you please clarify this, Amma? Who is Subhashri Raghav? Okay. Subhashri, okay, I'm Amma, all right. So he had already asked Vishwakarma to create a capital for him. His capital city was Mathura because that was his ancestral place. That is where Ugrasena was there and Vasudeva, his father, was there. So Ugrasena, the old person, his grandpa, was made the king. But when Kalayavana also assisted Jarasandha, it was difficult to combat, not only physical combat, but to have battle with him. And therefore he ran away from there. But the city was already prepared. He knew that this is going to happen. And that city, by the way, the marine archaeologists have found out that Bet Dwarka, it was submerged in the floods, and that is still there. Ma'am, is there any reference that Lord Krishna not married Radha? Vimal Shukla. Yeah, Vimal, there is no reference as he married. So we have to, because she was already married. Radha from Barsana, right? And Vrindavan, there is a village called Barsana from where Radha comes. So Radha was already married. So Krishna never married her. I mean, Jivatma and Paramatma, if you call that their union as marriage, then all of us are Radhas. All of us are married to Krishna. Hari Om Gauriji, what is the learning from the episode where Sri Krishna got the name Ranchod? Huh. So Shefali ji, yeah, I think this is very wonderful because, you know, I told you, this is a strategic planning. So as a king, it is not that always you have to fight against somebody. Sometimes, you know, and we have the Shadvidha Upayas like Yana, Asana, and there is this Sharana, Saushraya, everything is there. Kautilya has also given that. So at times you go back, that is strategic only. That is not that you are covered and you can't have the courage to fight. You are avoiding the massacre. You are avoiding that the Vishwa Yuddha, like, you know, it's a world war type of situation which is emerging, and we want to save the lives of hundreds and lakhs of people. And that time, if by your one move, the entire humanity is going to be saved, that is the lesson you have to learn. So sometimes, you know, it is again in some motivational pep talk, I think I heard somebody telling, you take out a note from your pocket, somebody took out a 100 rupee note. Okay, don't tear it off, but just crush it. Crush it. Okay, he crushed it. Okay, drop it down. He dropped it down. Now again, pick it up. Picked it up. Without tearing, you fold it 100 times and whatever, how many times you can fold it. So, but the value doesn't diminish, right? So you are like pressurized by the circumstances in this manner. So you have to know that your value remains the same. Just by one movement backwards, you are not going to lose your credentials, what you are really. So one movement, that movement is very crucial. And that you have to take in the interest of the multiple people and not your own swartha. So swartha se jada paramartha, that is the lesson I think we need to know from this. So let us close now. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. धन्यवादः.